believers, we are the hope keepers, living to make a difference. And there's nowhere like this, no, there's nowhere like this. And I love and living local. Lose 13, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Handle strong, said I love and living local. I'm living local and it's everything to me. We are the believers, we are the hope keepers, living to make a difference. And there's nowhere like this, no, there's nowhere like this. And I love and living local. Lose 13, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. Handle strong, said I love and living local. I'm living local and it's everything to me.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to 13 Now. I'm your host, Mia Bel Salzano. Today is Wednesday, June 24th. You may be driving around town, seeing signs all over the place with different people's names on them, so you know that the local primary elections are coming up. And we wanted to introduce you to all the candidates up for election this summer and give you an opportunity to get to know who you might be voting for this summer. So today we're talking with incumbent Bay County Commissioner in District 3, running for re-election, Bill Dozier. Mr. Dozier, it's good to have you.
Great to be here.
So can you just start out by introducing yourself a little bit to those who may not know you, or just a little bit about your background and your career? And
Okay. Well, I'm Bill Dozier. I've lived in Bay County since 1970. We moved here in 1970. I was 10 years old, and so I started to work with Bay County. Well, let me back up. I'm married, 6 children, and we have 15 grandchildren. From our 6 children, we have 15 grandchildren, and live in St. Andrews. And so, and I've lived in various parts of the county, but we live in St. Andrews. We've lived there for the last 25 years or so. And not too long after high school, I came to work for Bay County. I worked in various departments. Started off working in the working with Parks and Recreation. My first initial job was to make sure all the parks were clean. I'd go around and pick up the trash, empty the trash cans, and that. I've worked in traffic control. I've worked in the road department. But I spent 14 years in the engineering department for Bay County. So in between that, I'd taken a break, and well, it wasn't a break, but I went in the United States Army. So I was in the Army for 3 years, and then when I got out of the Army, I came back to work for Bay County because I just wanted to settle down and put roots here. And so in 2004, I was elected to the County Commission, and I have been on the commission ever since.
a long line of public service.
Long line of public service, and I've enjoyed every bit of it. I can comfortably say that I know both sides of it. As a staff member for 16 years, and know the inside and outs of that, and then as a county commissioner now for this November will be 16 years. So very, very happy to work for Bay County citizens.
So you are running for re-election.
Right.
What are your top 3 priorities moving forward for your district?
Well, running for re-election, we've been through a lot lately since Hurricane Michael came, and but moving forward, my top 3 priorities. For a long time, my priority one of them has been opening the old pass, working at that, opening the old pass, and I've been to Tallahassee. We have been to Tallahassee a number of times, working with DEP, talking to DEP about what it's going to take for us to open it, and trying to get a permit. So that's the big hurdle of that, is getting a permit, getting DEP to give us a permit to move forward and opening the old pass. But that's certainly a priority of mine. We're making progress. We're moving that whole situation forward. So it's a great possibility that we can, within the next 4 years, that we'll be able to see the old pass open, as long as we stay busy working in that direction. Also, a priority to continue on paving on roads. I mean, paving roads in Bay County, we have a lot of dirt roads in Bay County, and so working on getting the roads paved. But I think one of my main responsibilities here is to keep the taxes low. We work very hard to keep taxes low and still to be able to accomplish what needs to be accomplished here in Bay County. Another top priority of mine is to attract industry into Bay County. For years we've been working on this, and we've had some success through our EDA. And so attracting new industry into Bay County to raise the pay scale of Bay County. Because what I noticed is, and I don't know if your other questions are going to touch on this or not, but what I've truly noticed, especially after the storm, the cost of living in Bay County has gone way up, and the pay scale has not stayed with it. And so the way to have our pay scale raised is to bring in new quality industry at a better than average wage. Average wage in the average income in Bay County is $38,000. So our goal is to attract industry at least $42,000 for the average wage for the earner. And so in doing that, that's how we're going to raise the pay scale in Bay County, so people can have more money to spend and live better.
So I guess how do you plan to attract new industries?
Well, we have a very active EDA, Economic Development Alliance, and through the incentives that we've been able to offer them in the past, it's very competitive throughout the United States. And so the quality, several things attract people here, but to be able to attract industry here are the low taxes, where they can industry can get further ahead by not having such a tax burden on them. The quality of life, absolutely, they want good industry wants their employees to have a good quality of life, and we have that here in Bay County. So there are several aspects that go into it, but just sitting back and thinking that they're going to come to us is we don't do that. We seek them. So we look for the industry and we attract them. We go out and we talk to them, and we put all the aspects into place to attract the industry here. And then the industry that's here already, we work very hard to keep them here. So what we want to do is just multiply the jobs at a higher pay scale than what we've had in the past.
And I guess going back to your second point, how are you going to balance, trying to get all the roads paved and all of that stuff with keeping taxes low? I guess where is that money going to come from?
Well, just recently, the voters in Bay County passed a half-cent sales tax, a surtax. And so that money that's coming in is going directly towards maintaining the roads we have and paving new dirt roads. And that is helping us out tremendously. So we have a plan in place of how we're moving forward with paving our roads, and we can really tell a difference now that half-cent sales tax has been passed. And that money is 60% of that half-cent sales tax is paid by tourists. Only 40% by the local property owners or local people, period. And so we take that money and we leverage it towards state grants, federal grants, and we're able to do a lot more with it as far as paving roads.
Mm-hmm. So I guess with the pandemic putting a damper on the tourism season, this year and kind of affecting the budgets next year, how are you going to make up for that or address that problem?
Well, certainly there's been there's definitely been a time through this pandemic where the revenue stream has gone down. So we're looking at that. We are right now analyzing that through our budget, and moving into this next budget season, we're being told, we're being shown signs that we're going to have some shortfalls in certain areas. The shortfalls are coming primarily in the sales tax, whether it's a state sales tax or whether it's a local sales tax, because stores were closed and people were not traveling, so that they weren't spending money. And so the way we address that is just like we addressed it in the past. What we have done is we've very conservative in our philosophy. We've tightened our belt. We've made adjustments where we need to make adjustments. Instead of just going out and raising taxes and trying to raise all this revenue, what we do is we stay within the budget that we have. And so we do that through tightening our belts and just being creative on how we move forward. We still move forward with our projects. Some projects we have to put off for another year or so, But the answer is not just to raise taxes and thinking that you're going to get all this revenue in. The answer is to live within the means that we have, and that means that we may have to put off some of the jobs till next year, but we'll still accomplish them. It's just tightening our belt right now. So.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the aftermath of Hurricane Michael first.
Okay.
So District 3 was one of the hardest hit by the hurricane, and I guess what progress have you seen so far, and what can you do as commissioner to speed up the redevelopment of the area? Maybe we've already kind of touched on it, but.
Yeah, well, Michael did come through and was devastating to the whole Bay County. There's a lot of damage done and a lot of destruction. And so through the last year and a half now, I mean, we're going on, this October will be 2 years. Through this time, what we've done is we've been very flexible with people, helping them to get back on their feet, helping them to get their homes back in order. But as time goes on, after the first year, we took a look at how things were progressing, and realized that, okay, it's time now that we need to start looking how, because there's so many places that were not being addressed, homes and land that was not being addressed. We've had to address them ourselves, as far as through through FEMA, through the personal property debris removal, and through our own Bay County code enforcement. And so as we've identified these properties, and there's hundreds of them, several hundred properties that have been identified and have been addressed already, cleaning them up, and helping the residents to get their area cleaned up. And so we're addressing it through those two means, through the FEMA personal property debris removal and through our code enforcement. And as the areas come back, certain areas, as they, they look like they're blighted, because after the storm, everything looked blighted around here. But as they come back and as they're being cleaned up, then everybody's noticing and working hard to clean up their area, clean up their lots and clean up their houses, and so eventually we're going to get there. It's going to take a while, but eventually we will get there.
Okay. Well, I think that is all I have. I guess why, to be blunt, why should people reelect you as commissioner?
Well, for, like I said earlier, for 16 years I was on staff as a county employee here, and I'm very familiar with the workings of Bay County. And for the last 16 years I've been as county commissioner. So I'm very familiar with the internal workings of the county, and as a commissioner and as a staff member. I want to take that experience that I've gained, especially over the last 16 years as a commissioner, but I want to take that experience that I've gained and help Bay County to move forward, because we still have a lot of work to do after the storm. It was we anticipated a 3 to 5 year window just to say that, okay, we're back. I mean, we're back as for the rebuilding, and we're just not even into a full 2 years yet. So we have a good ways to go. So my experience, for people who remember back during the oil spill, it was a catastrophic oil spill out in the Gulf, and we worked through that. During that time, I was the chairman of Bay County. Worked very closely with everybody in Bay County as far as how we move forward with that, and with the industries about how we were going to address it. And I think we did a good job addressing that. So the oil spill, that just goes to, I was a chairman there. I was also chairman of the Bay County Commission when Michael hit. So how we have handled Michael aftermath, I think is certainly a testimony to our quality staff that we have here for Bay County. But I want to take that experience that I've gained over the years and use it to move Bay County forward, because we still have a long ways to go. We're not out of the woods yet, and we have a long ways to go before we get there. And I want to help for these next 4 years. I certainly want to help move us forward and finish what we've started as far as the cleanup goes.
Okay, great. Well, I think that's all I have. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Just that, as we move forward, I appreciate everybody's vote. I appreciate the confidence that they've had in me over the last term that I've had, and I would just certainly appreciate anybody's vote who's willing to vote for me. I am always willing to talk to people. I give my cell phone number out to everybody. If anybody wants to call me and ask me any particular questions, my cell number is area code 850-890-5224. And you can call me anytime, ask a question. If there's an issue that you have or a problem, I'm certainly would like to see what I can do to help. We're voted on countywide, anywhere from Phillips Inlet to Fountain, and anywhere in between. So if I get a call from Fountain, I'm out there. If I get a call from Phillips Inlet, I'm out there. So we're just willing to help anywhere. And that's what my job is to help the people of Bay County, and I want to continue that for the next 4 years.
Okay, great.
All
Thank
right.
you so much for your time today.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you learned something new about Mr. Bill Dozier today. This interview will be on mypanhandle.com's Your Local Elections Headquarters page, so you can revisit it there afterwards. And tomorrow we'll be talking with opposing candidate Jared Layton tomorrow at the same time, so tune in. Make sure you watch that as well. Live for 13 Now, I'm Isabel Salzano. See you tomorrow.